y'all are logging in for the first time? Because if I know that, then accordingly, I will not. How many of y'all are coming in for the first time among the 5 sessions that we've had earlier?
Prabhuji, can I say something?
1 minute. I just want in the chat box quickly, how many of y'all are coming in for the first time? Yes, if I could just get that. How many of y'all are coming in for the first time? It'll be great. In the chat boxes, if y'all could just put that, I'll have an idea.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Before we started, only you have a question. Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
So, do we have Kahoot or any quiz?
No, we don't have Kahoot or we don't have any quiz.
Prabhuji, can I recite any prayer for today?
Typically, we will start with the prayer. So you want to recite a prayer. Okay, what's your name, dear?
Naman.
Okay, Naman, I'll give you a chance. Give me some time, okay?
Okay.
I want to know before that, how many kids are logging in for the first time ever? How many of you all are coming in for the first time ever? So if I know that, then I'll be able to.
Veena says she's come for the first time. Chetan and Lasya.
Okay,
Three
so
of
only
them.
3 kids? Only 3
Yeah.
of them. Okay.
Prabhuji,
So,
me also Vikasni.
Acha. Vikasni, Hitya, yeah. There are few more putting it up.
Mataji, me also Hita.
okay. So, for the benefit of the ones who've come in for the first time for these sessions, let me tell you all what we basically try and do. All right. So, for the others, it will be a repetition, but for the ones who are coming in for the first time, I would like to repeat this. See, in life, we learn with various ways, right? All of y'all go to school, you'll learn. So there are various ways of learning, right? So one typical way of learning is to hear. When you hear, you understand, and you learn from your teachers or whoever tells you anything. You learn from that. Okay. The other way is to see. When you see, again, you observe and you learn. All right. And the third way to learn is when you learn from experience. All right. But the only problem with experience is sometimes experience can be a little painful. You know what I mean? When you're learning from somebody else's experience, it's a little painful. All right. Why it is painful? The reason it is painful is because you have to undergo that whole experience, and when you undergo that experience, then naturally some pain comes. I give this example always of when you touch when you're told, don't touch a switch with wet hands. You're told that. All right. And when you understand, then you don't touch it. But sometimes you have that thing, okay, no, I want to touch it, let me see how it is, and you try touching it. That's what gives you that experience, and that's not pleasant. All right. So that is another way of learning. But the simplest way to learn is when you learn from somebody else's experience. So if someone else has undergone certain troubles or has undergone something and achieved some scales in life, you learn from their experience, because that is what is called learning from a story of somebody else. Okay, that helps. The reason that helps is uh, because you're not undergoing the pain, but at the same time you're learning from their life. Okay, and that's why we say this is life lessons from somebody else's life. Okay, I'm just trying to adjust the video so that you can see me as well as see the screen clearly. Give me a minute. Okay, so the first story that we're going to go ahead with today is called Increase. Oh no, before that, Naman, go ahead. You can start with the prayers today.
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल।
Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Thank you so much. So, kids, we always begin anything with a prayer. The reason being, we're all part and parcel of the Lord, right? So, it's very important for us, whatever we do, we always connect with Him. So, whether it's some work that we're doing or simple thing like even eating food, we should always pray before eating, all right? And since we're trying to learn life lessons, which are very important for us to lead a good life, it's always important. It doesn't matter which prayer you say, which language the prayer is, or how you pray, it just doesn't matter. But it's important to pray because that's where the connection comes. We are all part and parcels of the Supreme Lord who has created this entire being. So it's very important that we connect with Him in any particular fashion. All right. So today's topic being competitiveness. All right. So I would want to understand from the ones who've raised their hands or anybody else who would like to say, what is their definition or what do they think is competitiveness one by one? Lekha Mataji will take the name and you can then tell me what you think is competitiveness in today's world.
Should I tell?
Yes, go ahead. What's your name, please? Introduce yourself.
My name is Vikasni.
Yes, Vikasni, go ahead.
And
What do you think is competitiveness?
I think competitiveness is trying to achieve the best of you that you can be.
Okay, the best of you that you can be. Did you say or the best? Or how, what did you say?
The best you can be.
The best you can be. Very good. Very well said. Okay, who else would like to say? Yes.
So Prabhuji, there are the comparativeness can be there in three modes. So in the mode of goodness, we try to do best that you can be, and in mode of passion, we want to achieve something greater than the other. And then in
Right.
ignorance, what is the in ignorance? The plan is that first I am collect everything, and then I become famous and I become very strong, and then I destroy my enemies. That's in the mode of ignorance.
So basically, you're
I learned
willing
this
to
from
step on. Yes. Willing to step on
and
somebody else. You're willing to step on to somebody else only to achieve. Okay, very good. Where did you learn this from? Very well said. From the Bhagavad Gita.
yes, by Gaurang Darshan Das.
Yes,
In the
absolutely.
17th chapter, he taught us.
Yes,
Prabhuji, can I tell what I feel?
absolutely. Go ahead. What's your name, dear?
My name is Madhavi.
Yes,
I
Madhvi.
think competitiveness is basically not to compare with others.
Yes, competitiveness is not to compare with others, but to be better than yourself. So that is what competitiveness typically is, right? But what happens in today's world? Okay, let us understand from this first story that we're going to discuss. All right. So this incident happened in Africa. All right. So there was this lady, very rich, and but the only thing that she had was money. That's it. And obviously, when you have money, you have a lot of people working for you, serving you. All right. So she was very rich. And like in India, we have Corona, unfortunately, right now. So over there also, there was a particular a flu that had spread, and because of which everyone was getting fever. All right. So this lady also got some fever, and her housemaid also got some fever. And she was very paranoid as to what's happened. So she told her husband quickly that, just call a doctor. We need to get things checked and this and that. So a doctor was called for. The best who is possibly available was available in that city. So he came over and he inspected her and he checked. And the landlady, the owner, the lady of the house, had just about 99 fever. So the doctor said, you're fine. You have just about 99 temperature. Nothing to worry. Don't worry. She said, I believe there are other people who are also unwell. She said, yeah, my maid who takes care of me, she's also running temperature. Can you check her temperature? And when the doctor checked her, that lady, the maid was a little unwell, and she had 104 temperature. And the lady said, oh, I need to attend to your maid because she has 104 temperature. I will give you the medication later, but I'll give you your medication later, but let me rush her to the hospital. And this landlady, being, as I told you, the only thing that she had was money, she was like,
Prabhuji, you are not audible.
Vishal,
Prabhuji.
no, I'm telling, just mute yourself, please. Mute yourself, please. Prabhuji, you're not audible. Okay, I'll just get on to him. Okay, yeah. Yes, Prabhuji, you got disconnected in between. Yeah.
oops, internet. Okay. So as I was telling you, the doctor wanted to attend to the maid first. All right. And he said to the landlady and the owner of the house that I need to get her to the hospital first. And the landlady can be given the medication later because she just has 99 of temperature and this one has 104. So when the landlady heard that, she was like, how can you do that? You better attend to me first. It doesn't matter if her temperature is 104 and mine is 99. You make mine also 104 and attend to me first. All right. So what I'm trying to explain over here and what came out in the story is how you could use the word stupid, people tend to get when it comes to numbers. All right. Everybody today feels that ye dil mange more. That means more is better or more is essential. All I want today is more and more. Even if it is more temperature, people are willing to do that. All right. In the spirit that I am above my, in this case, my maid, I'm above her. So I need to be attended first. So that basic thing of, of wanting to be competitive is what in today's world is actually leading people lower and lower and lower because all they are going in for is the number game. All right. And in that number game, basic morals, basic courtesy, basic ethics and basic dealing, these are basic human dealings, right, are being sacrificed. So we need to understand why we're doing about competitiveness today is because it's very essential topic and we will hear it in our lives virtually every day and we will experience it in no matter what field we are. So today, whether we are in a dance class, our school, later on in our jobs, everywhere we will face this thing, but we need to understand, and as some of the kids rightly put it, when we're talking about competition, typically compete with yourself. When you compete with yourself, you're just trying to be better than what you were previously. All right. Now, the Lord has made everyone different and has endowed everyone with certain characteristic features, strengths. All right. So last time in our last life lessons, we gave the example of how a crow compared himself to a parrot and a peacock, and then realized, no, I'm fine being a crow because each one has their own pros and cons. All right. So we have to be satisfied with what we are, but at the same time, we have to try and be better than what we were previously. Previously means at every stage, we keep comparing and being better than ourselves. All right. So now, anyone wants to say anything more about uh, any such
Prabhuji.
experience that you have? Yes, yes. One by one, just take your name and better still put your hand up. Then Lekha Mataji can give a chance.
I'll give Sarang his turn first. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that everyone gets a chance to speak. All right.
Okay.
And we have 3 days, so all of y'all will speak adequately. We're going to keep it more interactive. Yes, Sarang, go ahead.
Okay, Vikasni. I've
Yes,
unmuted you.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes, Vikasmi, what do you want to share or what do you want to say?
I want to say that to be competitive, we should not try to beat others to what they can do. Instead, put we should like compete against our own mind and be how the best that we can be ourselves.
Absolutely. Very well said. Yes. So your competition should be with yourself. The reason being, everyone is unique. All right. And we have our own strengths that we can improve. All right. So our objective is that we want to be better than ourselves. All right. So many a times what happens, in school, for example, you're competing with someone, but each one in life is on a different path. All right. Today, you all are together in a particular class. Fine. But later on, like today, when I look back at some of the children in school that I could have felt competitive with, it doesn't matter today because each one is on a different track. So whether someone got a 85 then and someone got an 80 and you were trying to compete, it didn't matter because each one later on, so someone became a doctor, someone became an environmentalist, another person became a businessman, a fourth person became a teacher. So each one is on a different track, right? So our competition should be that I am working so hard that if I want to become a doctor, I am working to be a better doctor. If I want to be a teacher, I am trying to be a better teacher. If I want to be a football player, I'm working to be a better football player. That should be the competition. All right. Very well said. Anyone else?
Prabhuji Mohan, she wants to talk.
Yes. Go ahead.
Prabhuji, we should like example, we want to become like him.
Sorry, I didn't get that. We want to become like him, as in you're taking inspiration from someone. What are you saying?
No, Prabhuji, like whenever we want to whenever we see that he has got 85 marks, so we should take inspiration and we should not compare. Like
Yes. So if he's, yeah, absolutely right. So basically, if he's got 85 and even you want 85, why? Because that is your subject that you want to specialize in or you like that subject. So the inspiration should be that I want to be better and get those marks because I like that subject. So, for example, if it's science, tomorrow I want to be a doctor, I need to know science pretty well. All right. So that's the reason I want to do well, not because Akash has got 85 and I want to be better than Akash. So if the objective is being better than Akash, then your track is different because your track is for your life. Ultimately, your life is in your hands, right? And yes.
Again, it can be that our capacity is not like that person. So
That could be another thing. Yes, that could be another thing. Each one is endowed differently. Absolutely right. You could be a better football player, and Akash could be better at science. Example. So that's different, right?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, can I say something?
Yes, please. You know what? If you all can put it in the chat box, then Mataji will give each one a chance so that there's no clash. Yes. Who's
Sir, I have
what's your
raised
name?
my
Yeah, who's going ahead now with your
My
name?
name is Shreya.
Okay, Shreya, go ahead.
So Prabhuji, there's only one key to success. That is like when you want to do something better, like you're in a race. Suppose you're in a race of some Olympics, and there are different levels, and
Right.
you have to practice for that. So you can't practice on that. My friend is doing better than me, so I should do better than her. You should first make your one goal and then try to go above from that goal instead of going above from your friend's goal. That's how you can be
Absolutely.
better.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well
For
said. Perfect.
example, when we are in an exam and suppose like I got more marks here and my friend has got less marks, I should not be happy that I got like a few more. Like the exam is of 500 and I just got like about 300 and my friend has got 200. So I can't be happy that I've got more than her, so it's good.
Yes, so last time we actually dealt with that comparison issue and how we have to stay away from comparison, right? because comparison breeds envy and jealousy. We don't want that. If we have to compare someone, we
Yeah.
compare ourselves with ourselves. That's the best thing. All right. We look at ourselves in the mirror and we just see how we need to be better. Yeah. And in fact, you raised the topic of Olympics. So the next story that I'm going to take is a true story, which happened in the Olympics, but this happened in Seattle. Uh, these were the special Olympics that are undertaken every couple of years for the specially enabled, the physically challenged and the mentally challenged. So we'll take that story and then we'll continue our discussion. Will that be a good idea? Okay. So Mataji, we'll go to the next story. If you can just change the slide.
Even mine is hanging.
Okay, no problem. So we'll continue the discussion. In the meantime, the slide changes. We'll continue. So who else wanted to say? Just unmute and go ahead. Yes.
Prabhuji,
Can I?
can
Please go
I
ahead.
say?
Prabhuji?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, I wanted to say I have an experience
Oh wow,
that
lovely.
when I was in my school, once my teacher gave me some homework and she said, do it fast and she's gonna erase it. So we have to submit our books. So
Okay.
I done the homework first and I submitted it. And there were other people submitting, and the person who submitted his notebook in the last, he was getting he had got his notebook that day only, and
Okay.
and because everyone was doing after me, my copy was at the last, so I got my copy after 2 days. So I thought that why is it like that, that I have submitted first, so I should get first. But then I thought that everyone should get a chance. Now I should not compare.
Yeah, true. Good learning. Good learning that you gave yourself, that you shouldn't compare. Very well done.
Prabhuji, unfortunately, I'm unable to share the screen, Prabhuji.
No
I'll
problem. We'll
exit
continue
and
our
I'll
discussion.
come back. Can you just
Oh.
admit me when I
Yeah,
go
sure. We'll just try again too. Yeah.
May I say, Prabhuji?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
We should not, first of all, we should not be selfish. And then we must be first, and we must be first, and rather than the second, we must be first. So, and if somebody comes first, we should not like do comparison between I and you. So we should cooperate and say that congratulations you got. We must not say why did you get first? I was first. We should not get to fight. So that's what I was saying.
Perfect. Absolutely rightly. You rightly said that. Yes, that typically, if someone is good at something, rather than just trying to compete with him in a wrong way, you can always get inspiration. And that inspiration will help you do so many other things. All right. Because if rather than competing and going head on, it's always better if you feel that the other person, see, I told you, each one has their own skill sets. All right. Someone may be good in football, someone may be good in singing, someone may be good in science, someone's good in maths. So when you cooperate, and we will see this, I'm going to be getting to that story during this session, how cooperation leads to better results rather than competing, how cooperation is better. So we're going to get into that also. So that's the third story that we're going to take today. But we're just having a little trouble sharing the screen. So that's how once Lekha Mataji joins in again, we'll do that. Okay. In the
Prabhuji,
meantime,
can I
who
say?
else? Yes, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, I might.
1 minute. Whoever is not speaking can be on mute. 1 minute. 1 minute. There's a lot of background. 1 minute. Huh? I'm going to have to mute all. 1 minute.
Yes, now can I speak?
Yes.
Yes.
Hear anyone.
Yes, so I was saying that we
Yeah.
should we should not compete with each other. Instead, we should like everyone has some good qualities. We should
Correct.
take their good qualities, not saying their like bad part, but saying good part. It will benefit us, and by working hard, so we can build their good qualities in us. And secondly, if someone is winning, it's not about winning and losing, it is about learning. So we have to take moral and go go from.
Yes. Well said. Absolutely right. That you have to take the best, as you rightly said. You have to take the best from people rather than competing with them. You rather learn from some of their skills that they have. Perfectly said. Absolutely
And
right.
work hard to success.
There's no. Yes, absolutely. That goes without saying.
Prabhuji, may I say a story about
Uh,
selfishness?
no, the topic today is competitiveness.
Prabhuji,
It
can
sticks
I
to competitiveness. Yeah. Anyone else wants to share
Prabhuji
any such
Vikas,
experience?
Prabhuji Vikasni.
can I ask you something?
Anyone else wants to share any experience first, and then I'll answer your question.
Yes, Prabhuji Vikasni.
Yeah, Vikasmi,
Prabhuji,
So,
go ahead.
Prabhuji, once when I was young, not young exactly, when I was in grade 1,
Yeah.
there was one.
Prabhuji, can you make me the host first, please?
One sec. Sorry. Just a second. Mataji, you're the host now.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, can I continue now?
Yes. Please go ahead. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Let her first finish the story. Their first grade story. Go ahead. Yeah. When you were in first grade, what
There
happened?
was this girl who used to always get a lot of marks, generally full marks.
Okay.
Then once one other girl, she got more marks than this girl, and she was this girl who generally got more marks. She was so envious of that girl, and so she made one false complaint against the girl who got more marks than her. She made a false complaint against her to the teacher and made the teacher scold her just because she thought that getting more marks was competition.
My God. And how was this discovered? And then what happened to that girl later on?
This was discovered in the parents group. Like they used to have, my parents used to have chatting WhatsApp, all the parents. In the parents group, it was discovered. It means Anushka, the girl, she told
Yeah.
her mom,
No.
and her
Prabhuji,
mom.
sorry, I'm unable to share. I don't know what is some issue.
Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. Okay, kids. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to, I'll continue a story and I'll just try in the meantime to log in from another device and share my PPT. Maybe if that's possible, then otherwise we'll do the session today without a PPT. All right. It doesn't matter. The story is more important. Okay. Matan, you can try in the meantime.
Prabhuji,
Yes. So the second story that we're going to do today
can I
is,
ask you something?
okay, Madhvi, go ahead.
Prabhuji, what's your group's name? Because the internet connection is very low on my sides and it's hanging up every 2-3 minutes. So
You have the link. In case you have a problem, you can re-log in. Okay, Madhvi? You have the link, right, dear?
are not here and this computer is not working very good. So I need to go on my mother's computer.
So where is the link, dear? If you have the link, you can log in from any device.
But I don't know your group's name, so I cannot get the link.
You have it. Your mother would have it. Life lessons. You would have it.
But my parents are downstairs with my brother to take him for a walk.
Then how will you log in, my dear? If you don't have another device or you don't have the link, how will you log in?
I have the link. I am also in the group, but I just don't know your group's name so that I can log in again.
It's called life lessons.
No
It's called
problem.
life
You
lessons.
listen to
Prabhuji,
the
we
story.
can do one thing. You can tell her the link and passcode now. She can get a pen and paper and write it and then log in from the another device.
Prabhuji, she can listen to you. It's okay.
Madhvi, if you have any difficulty, you let me know. Best is if you have unstable connection, just shut your camera. If you shut your camera, it'll save your bandwidth. All right? Can you do that much?
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so as I was telling, we don't have a PPT now to share, but the second story that I was going to tell you is about the Seattle Special Olympics. All right. Now, these were happening in the US, and these were for the mentally challenged, the physically challenged, and there was a 50-meter race that was going to happen. And these 9 children who were all specially enabled, they were in a row and they were about to begin the race. And typically, as it goes, on your mark, get set, and go. So it started and the gunshot happened, and then they all started running to the best of their ability. As I told you, they were special kids. And suddenly, this one little boy tumbled, and he tumbled, but he didn't give up. He got up again and he started running again. Again, he tumbled, right? And when he tumbled the second time, he started to scream and then cry. And when the other 8 children who were also running heard that, they all stopped and they turned back and they ran towards this child, picked up that child, and then all the 9 kids together ran towards the finish line and they all finished together. Now, this happening at the Olympics was unseen of ever earlier in the history. And it was covered in all possible media later on. But when they crossed the finish line, the entire stadium stood up and gave them a standing ovation. All right. For the next couple of minutes, the only thing heard in the stadium was loud and loud clipping and thundering of claps for all these children, who had focused on not winning a particular event, but they won the hearts of everyone participating. So, in a sport which generally is very competitive, and one person has to win, or one team has to win, or one person has to win the gold, in the Olympics, this was for the first time that all of them landed up winning. All right. So this was such a, you can say, a heartwarming experience. And what it also teaches us that, sometimes helping others is actually winning. So we're all typically in a race. We're always running. All right. So if y'all have seen that movie called Three Idiots, and there is this principal who always tells everyone, life is a race, life is a race. Unfortunately, for most people today, life is a race, and everyone is running, but without a direction. So they're running very fast, but they are lacking direction. And sometimes we need to just pause, slow down, and understand whether we're running in the right direction. Otherwise, we need to change our course, because it's no use running very fast, but running in a wrong direction. So, helping others is one such thing which actually helps us win, right? So, this was one such experience which taught the world at large that how helping is actually winning. So it's in situations like this where uh, you know you understand, and anybody can be a good teacher, right? So sometimes we think only we can learn from X, Y, or Z. No, anyone and everyone can teach us. We learn from not only human beings, we learn from non-living things also. We learn from an ocean. You know what we learn from an ocean? We learn from an ocean how not to be affected by any amount of rain. So when it rains and there's a cyclone, and there's a flood in the river, all right, the rivers will overflow, but the ocean never crosses its boundary because it's very deep. So that deepness can come in us when we develop certain qualities. And one such quality that we're talking about is competitiveness, and understanding the right spirit of competition. All right. So again, the floor is open for more such discussions before we go on to another story, which is going to be about how sharing is caring and how we can grow rather than compete. All right. So again, one by one, Mataji, if we can take anyone who wants to speak, can please raise their hands, and we can take one by one.
Rakshita Pandey, I'll unmute you.
Yes, Rakshita, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I was saying that if we are running in a race, like in the life we are running in a race, we should always see back and turn for some time that is anyone behind us or is anyone needs our help. Do anyone needs our help? So we should.
See, you're right, but you know what happens? Many a times when you're doing it, as we said, our typical focus should be on trying to run our race correctly. That means, is our life on track or not? That should be our focus. But at the same time, when we're running, we don't run like a horse. If you've seen a horse, typically the eyes are covered because you can only see straight. But God has given us the vision where we can see left and right also. So while we're moving towards our goal, if we see that somebody needs some assistance or we can be of any help to anyone, we should lend our hand, right? So we should extend our hand of help and then move ahead. So we may pause, but ultimately we move towards our goal. And if necessary, we can help someone on the way. We should try and do that. Like these kids taught the world at large how sometimes winning is not only important. Yes? Okay, anyone else who wants to say something or share something?
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's me again, Vikasmi.
Yeah.
I have one more thing. During this for sharing is caring, during this COVID, many people have lost their jobs and there are many people who are not able to afford for food. So in UAE here, we did like one kind of charity drive where we have put together, like we have all food materials, clothes and all new clothes that we put and we gave away for free to those who have lost their jobs or do not have money. The UAE, we have a charity drive.
Yes, I know a lot of such wonderful students from various schools have been doing it. You're from Bombay Scottish, right, Vikasni? Are you?
What, sir?
Are you from Bombay Scottish?
What is that?
Which school are you from?
Actually, I study here in UAE, Dubai.
Oh, in Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay, because in Mumbai, we've read a lot of such schools and young children, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds who put in that effort and have done that. So I'm so glad, Vikasni, that even in Dubai, you all have been doing that. Hats off and very good. You all should. So that's what you're focusing on your goal. You're moving ahead in life, but at the same time, you're keeping that sensitivity towards the environment. And these are the qualities that you need to grow as a person. Very well done. Thank you, Vikas.
I study in Indian high school.
Great. Superb. All right. Who else next? What would like to share something?
Teacher, can I? Sir, may I?
Please. Yes, go ahead, dear. Yes, Gauri.
Actually, we must never miss any golden opportunity because helping is also a type of golden opportunity.
Yes.
For
absolutely.
example, there is a race. There is any swimming race. Okay.
Right.
So it is in the like, what do we say? On Gangaji, on Ganga River, there is a swimming race. You have to go from one ghat to another. So,
right.
So if somebody is diving down and he's saying help, help, so the judge can observe that if he helps or he does it in his own way, he goes. So if we help it, so judges will really appreciate and clap, even though you did not win. But you still have saved someone's life like that. We must never miss any golden opportunity.
So you may miss one gold medal, but you will win so many golden hearts of people. All right, that's what from if you do activities like this, you will definitely win a lot of golden hearts. Wonderful. All right. Anyone else? Sriram, do you want to say something?
Prabhuji, I want.
Prabhuji, can I say?
Yeah, go ahead, Sriram.
Yes, Prabhuji, like
No, I'm Shreya.
Okay, Shreya and then Sriram. Both of you all. I'll give both of you all a chance, one at a time. Go ahead, please.
Prabhuji, so I had heard a story in my school that there was a race competition, and then they all started running. So the boy who was the ahead of all, uh, he's he heard a boy screaming like, "I've got hurt, I've got hurt," and he went again to that boy like he was first. Then he again went to that boy, and others ran ahead. But he
Right.
went back to that boy. He took him to the nurse because he was badly hurt on his face. So he took him to the nurse, and he was given special prize for that.
Absolutely. See, I said he lost one medal, but he would have won 100 hearts. Yes, so he's won 100 hearts. That's much more important. Very, very good. Yes, so that's what, within competitiveness, you have to understand what essentially is important. So is it only that short-term victory, or is it long-term winning of your see, as humans, we have been entrusted with a lot of responsibilities by God, right? And when we've been entrusted with those responsibilities, we have to make sure that we make best use of this human life. Do you realize how valuable this human life is? Right? We are the ones with the highest consciousness. We can decide what to do, what not to do. For example, I may decide today not to eat non-veg. All right. But a tiger cannot say, today I'm going to be vegetarian. Today I'm going to have only grass. He can't do that. His consciousness is not there. So as human beings, we've got this special consciousness by God. So we have to make the best out of it. All right.
Prabhuji,
Very
can
well
I say
said.
an example?
Prabhuji,
Yes, go ahead, Naman.
Shreya, can I talk?
Prabhuji, so
1 minute, Naman, 1 minute. I had told Shreya. Let me give Shreya a chance. She was next. Yes, Shreya, go ahead, please.
Yes,
Shreya, go ahead.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
So, yes, we like winning is not only the point of a race. So if like we are not winning a race, and still you're not the first, you're second or third or behind than that. When you're running and you want to help someone, if you go behind, you may at least if ever you don't win the prize, you may at least feel that, okay, yeah, I've won someone's heart.
Yes, so that's what now one race or your life victory. So you have a different thing. The race is not your life. All right.
Prabhuji, what Srirang said that happened with me. Actually, in our school, when I was in 5th standard, there was a cross country of all the houses, and one girl, she was in the front. Like, so we were standing in rows, and she went in the front because she wanted to come first. But by the push of everyone, she fell down, and everyone just ran away. But me and one of the girl who was beside me, we helped her get up. Her full knee was injured because of the pushing. She fell down. So me and one girl, we had helped her to get up, and then the teachers came and they told us that you all go, we'll see.
Superb.
So
So that
that's
was
why
a
after
great
helping, we
effort.
went.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, Naman. Thank you. Thanks, Shreya, for sharing. Now, Naman, you can go ahead.
So you said the human life is very precious. So even I agree. And do you know that if we, first after the human life, if we live a degraded life, after that,
Your voice is cracking, Naman. Your voice is cracking. Sorry. Am I the only one not able to hear Naman?
Prabhuji, for me also his voice is cracking.
Yeah. So
Yes,
Naman, I
for
guess
me
there's a little difficulty with your internet connection. I'll give you a chance again later to speak. Okay. Anyone else wants to share anything, or should I go to the next story?
Prabhuji, I want to share a real life experience.
Okay, Purnendu, please go ahead.
So, do you know Malakam?
No.
It's kind of a pole and you
red.
climb on.
Yeah. Okay, that's sport.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
In South India.
yeah, when I was in third, I was chosen to do Malakam, and because Malakam is not easy, you have
Not at all.
to pick up 40-50 weights at a time. So it was very difficult, but to make a chakrasan.
Yes.
So I was told to make a chakrasan, and there was a boy and I was in chakrasan, and there was also one girl next to me who was doing it. So there was a boy who was in fifth, and he was told to stand on a stomach and do like this. So because when you climb on the pole, you also need some side supports.
Yes.
So because of that, then that boy climbed, and he was 30 kgs. 30-35 kgs. It was so tough to handle him on the stomach that when he got down, I felt like, and I was feeling like, oh, okay, it's getting dizzy. The whole was like, it was roaming for me, and I was getting very dizzy. Then everybody gathered, and then like, are you okay? This and that, and then I was like, yeah, I'm okay. Then I drank a little bit of water. Then we again got into the practice. And then when the show time was, when we had to show what we had done, everybody was like, yay, you, and everybody was appreciating me. How could I pick up 100 and all kgs at a time?
No, good. So that's what, we in a game, many a time that team spirit is important. And not only if you're not working as a team, even if you're working as an individual, it's very important to also look around you. Now the next story, I'll take the next story now. And this will explain how it is important that when if we want to have our own welfare, we have to see the welfare of others around. So this story happens in America, where there was this farmer who used to grow corn, right? And 3-4 years in a row, he won there is an award known as the blue title. It's an interstate competition that they have, wherein the best farmer gets this blue title, whoever grows the best in each category. So this farmer who grew corn, he was an award-winning farmer for the last 4 years in a row. He had been winning the state title, the blue title. And these newspaper reporters, they would come and they were covering him. And one newspaper reporter discovered, when he was discussing with him, that he shared his seeds with all his neighbors. And that reporter was struck that those people are also competing in the same competition. Everyone is trying to be the best, to have the best corn produce, right? So if they are competing with you, how can you possibly share your seeds with them? This was the question of the reporter. It's a valid question, right? If they are going to be competing with you, why would you want to share your seeds with them? It's like sharing your business secret with a competitor. So this farmer very humbly and very nicely explained to the reporter that, do you know, we're in the business of farming, and for farming there is something known as cross pollination. And the reporter was like, he said, let me explain to you that for a farm to have good produce, it's very important that there is cross pollination. Only then can the produce be good. And that is the reason I distribute good seeds to all my